Hi there, everybody. I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my horoscope overview for the week and a quick highlight per each sign for next week, November the 3rd. So, what I'm doing now, as I explained on last week's video, is because I'm sort of running out of time in my day. I need more day in my day. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. To cut down the processing time on the weeklies, because I know you all enjoy the weeklies. And I'm just giving a highlight on the one video. So you'll have to just, scan through to get to your sign. Let's see how I go. This format seemed to worked okay last week, so let's see how it goes. It just cuts down a whole lot of processing time for me if we can work it this way. All right, so right at the start of the week, we've got the Sun is in a sextile to Pluto. So the Sun, of course, is our most powerful energy, and Pluto is called the power planet. So deep psychological issues can come up, under a Pluto transit, and with the Sun sextile. Sextile is a more milder, beneficial, opportunity type aspect. But when these two get together, then it can mean change in your life. I mean, it's nothing surer than in life than change. And one thing's for sure, when you're going through a lot of chaos, you can be sure that, your life is changing. And as much as we don't like the chaos, it's sort of better than, being stagnant, I think, anyway. I have to remind myself of that fact every now and again, though. But you can get some clean breaks. If there's something you need to really change or walk away from, then the Sun and Pluto together can help you do that. Now, moving through the week on the 6th, the Moon is going to be right opposite the Sun, so we've got a full moon in the sign of Taurus. Now, we'll go through and I'll let you know for each and every sign how that's going to affect you. But with the full moon, it's always a little bit of an unsettling time. So it's an intense time. So it can bring things to a head that you really need to deal with. If they come up to you up close and personal and you're getting emotional about it, then try to work through that, live through it, breathe through it, and just feel the emotions and release them rather than push them down, because, when you push them down, it just blocks energy and it's going to come back up again sometime, because life is like that. The universe keeps sending us, situations that help us deal with our stuff and clear the energy. So moving on the 8th and the 9th, we've got Mercury is going to move back into the sign of, or it's moving forward because it's out of retrograde, but it's moving back into the sign of Scorpio. So it was in Scorpio and then it went retrograde, and now it's heading its way back again. So in Scorpio, it's a very sharp intellectual thought. So, right now is a great time, particularly as we now have Mars in Capricorn. It's a good time to get your thoughts in order and follow them up with action, okay? And at the end of the week on the 9th, that's the end of the weekend, we've got Venus in a square to Jupiter. So this can cause some quite dramatic scenes. Venus is a planet of love and money, but she's also a little bit of a drama queen too, and very possessive around love. So you want to be careful of stress building up there and then letting that last straw break your emotional back, and then whoever is the closest, generally your nearest and dearest, gets the brunt of everything that, everything that's happening. So be careful of that. Be careful that you're not directing your frustrations in life to the wrong person. Okay, so let's go through and just have a quick run through of what's happening for each and every sign. So I'm just going to spend about a minute on each sign and just pick up the highlights. So Aries, first off, the start of the zodiac. The full moon It's in your solar second house, so this is very good for money and possessions, but it also highlights that you need to feel worthy of what you want to attract. So over this period, it's a great time to get in touch with anything that you feel is holding you back, or any feelings of unworthiness, or I'm not good enough. And, we all have those feelings from time to time, so it's all okay. Don't think you're alone in that boat. For most of the week, we've got Mercury in your area of relationships. So it's a great time with Mercury in your 7th house and the moon in your 2nd house to really say exactly how you feel. Don't hold anything back and try not to keep any secrets. So when you speak from the heart, then what can go wrong? Well, I have to remind myself I say that too. So it can clear things, so that's the good news. All right, so Taurus, full moon is in your sign. So this is a time for you. It's like a make it or break it time. And if you feel that you're just really on the end of your rope, that things have got to change, then the full moon can help put this into motion, okay? As I said, it's like a make it or break it time. So what you want to do is be prepared to leave the old, outdated, and whatever you don't want in your life, cut it off, leave it behind, and move forward and open up to what you do want. Right opposite you in the 7th house of relationships, there's a lot of activity in here. Venus is in here, Sun, Saturn, and at the end of the weekend, Mercury is going to move into that area as well. So if you've been leading up to have a heart-to-heart with someone close, then over this period, it's likely to be triggered with the full moon, and it's a good time to do that, okay? All right, now, Gemini, all the activity, Gemini, is pretty well still sitting in your solar 6th house, all right? So a couple of things here. You want to be careful that you're not working around the clock and causing stress to build up in your body, and so then you neglect, because you're too busy, you neglect your overall health and well-being. Now, I probably said this to you last week as well, so sorry if I'm repeating myself here. But with Mercury moving into this area as well, if you've been waiting for some news to come through on a business level to help with your work, then it can come together now, and particularly a creative project. You want to keep life in perspective, though, okay? Things are not always going to go the way that you expect. And you know what? That's okay, because a detour or a change can be even better than what you thought, all right? So keep that in mind. With the full moon in the sign before you, it's going to ignite your intuition. So pay attention to your feelings and what your intuition is trying to tell you. Now, Cancer, ruled by the moon, of course. Anything that happens with the moon through the month has a great influence on your life. It's sitting in your solar 11th house. A couple of things here. Good for groups, good for social outings, get together with people. Because it's full moon energy, don't be surprised if you actually walk away from some friends that you feel are no longer serving you. You don't have to have like a big sort of spat to do this. It can just be a matter of, you know what, we're just heading in different directions, and that's okay, and just wish them well and get on with your own life, okay? This can also highlight some monetary matters as well in this position. So if you've been waiting for some answers to come through on money, then, and certainly around a personal personal situation, then that can come through at the moment as well. Very good for love affairs right now as well. All that activity in your solar 5th house, it's a very creative area of your chart. It's also an area of your chart where love affairs can start. So don't be surprised. You could just walk around the corner and there's the love of your life. So I have my moon in Cancer, so I'm really hoping that can happen. So I think I might put that in our Capricorn reading. No, only kidding. All right, so let's keep going. We've got Leo. Now, Leo with Jupiter in your sign, right at the end of the week, we've got that square aspect between Venus and Jupiter, and Venus sitting in your solar 4th house. All very much to do with your home and family area. The full moon in your 10th house, very much to do with your career. So it's like towards the start of the week, there could be some things that are going to happen around your career, which make you question what direction you're heading in and what direction you want to head in. And then towards the end of the week, there's likely to be some decisions to make around your home environment, okay? So all good stuff, because even though it can be a little disruptive, as I said in the general reading, when you're in that chaos, it means things are going to change, and you know, they can change for the better, not always for the worse. Now, Virgo, let's have a look what's happening for you. A lot of this activity is in your solar 3rd house, once again, a very creative area of the chart, very communicative area. Also covers siblings as well. So Mercury, your ruling planet, is going to move into this area at the end of the week, so the end of the weekend. But before that, it's in your solar 2nd house, all to do with money and possessions. So there's a good chance that you can get some answers or some news through earlier in the week about something you've been waiting on, okay? Let's have a look what else. So and then, of course, at the start of the week, we've got that Sun sextile Pluto, which also brings about the changes and clean breaks around a personal situation. The full moon for you is in your 9th house, so if you've been thinking about taking up some study, then this is a good time to do that. All right, moving on. Libra. So Libra, you have at the start of the week, right through until the weekend, a Mercury, the communication planet, in your sign. Now, this is great because what can happen here is that you can just helps you get in touch with what you want to say, what you need to say, how you want to say it to whoever needs to hear your advice or your heartfelt feelings. Now, at the end of the week, Mercury is going to move into your solar 2nd house, and this is about money and possessions, okay? And also, it's going to join the Sun, Venus, your ruling planet, and Saturn, the planet of stability. So something can go down around this time. You can get news, say, leading up sort of to the end of this week through next week, something around about a monetary situation, okay? So always with the 2nd house, you want to be careful that you clear any emotional blocks. You want to be open to receive what you want to attract and not get into self-sabotaging, okay? So just something to keep in mind there. The moon, the full moon, is in your solar 8th house. If you've been waiting for another position that covers money, and more particularly money that you're not in control of. So there could be some changes here. If you've been waiting on some answers, a bank loan, or some people that said they're going to help you, then you can either be shown the real situation this week, or something can change or come to an end, which opens up another door for you, okay? All right, you've also got in your solar 4th house, 2nd and the 4th house, the Sun and the Pluto. So this is to do with money and home. Okay, so there's certainly some opportunities and some changes that can occur on that level as well. Okay, Scorpio. So Scorpio, you have all the planets just about in your sign. So we've got Venus, the Sun, Saturn, and Mercury, the communication planet, moving into your sign at the end of the week. Now, of course, about a week and a half ago, you did have a solar eclipse in your sign, which is like a whole new phase, a whole new beginning. Opportunities can really open up. This is really your time, Scorpio, but you have to recognize the opportunities and go after them, okay? Because they may land at your feet, but it's up to you to pick them up, all right? Now, right opposite you, with the full moon in your relationship area, Be a little bit thoughtful about what you want to achieve, okay? And you want to be careful, particularly with Mars sitting in your solar third house of communication. You want to be a little bit careful that you don't just blurt something out and then think later, I could have handled that perhaps a little bit different, okay? So take a step back, think about the result that you want to achieve, and go after it in that manner. Now, Sagittarius. So we've got a lot of activity around your sign, Sagittarius. So a lot of these planets, we've got the Sun, Mercury moving into the sign before you. Venus is there, the Sun, as I mentioned, and Saturn. So your intuition is generally pretty good anyway, okay? But it's heightened at the moment. Particularly as you've got the full moon in your solar sixth house. So that's going to just allow you to get in touch with your physical side more, and all those planets in your 12th house helps you get in touch with your instincts more. This is a great time to get your goals down. It's a great time to do some planning, because pretty soon these planets are going to move into your sign and you're going to have a whole new start happening. Okay, so just spend this week just getting in touch with what you want to do, how to get there, and think about some timing. So the journey, of course, is always important. Now, Capricorn, yay, Capricorns. So Mars in your sign now, very great for us, because it gives us the motivation and the energy just to simply move a mountain of work. We have to be organized to be able to do it. Otherwise, the Mars can have you just sort of spinning your wheels, running around in circles. So there are some things that are going to fall to the bottom of the list, and some people are going to be postponed, okay? But that's okay. And you're a master of fitting that extra thing in your day. So if anybody can do that, then you can. You've got a lot of planets in your social area of your life, okay? So it's not always all about work. We think it is, and but, you know, right now you have an opportunity to meet people, get out and be more social. The full moon in your relationship area, one of your relationship areas in the 5th house, midweek on the 6th. Full moon is often like a make it and break it point. So if you've got a relationship that's been a bit rocky, then you can either make it better or walk away. If you've got a relationship that's really needed a bit of work, then perhaps you can work to get it back. And or, you know what, you can just have an intense, passionate interaction with somebody new. So we all look forward to that, because, you know, it's love and money that make the world go round, okay? And we need both in our life, and we have to remind ourselves of that occasionally. Okay, so Aquarius, right opposite you there, of course, for another 7, 8, 9 months or so, we have Venus square Jupiter, and Venus is in your 10th house of career and Jupiter in your 7th house of relationships. So this can be quite stressful. It's like one thing happens in one area of your life, and then it can have an effect or, you know, result, influence on the other area of your life. So there's always more to come. There's things happening behind the scenes. Don't be quick to judge whatever's going on, and, you know, take a step back and, you know, be a people watcher. You know, when you don't, you know, when you're not in there running the show and asking the questions and watch, you can pick up a lot of information. But there's big time energy and planets and activity in your solar 10th house. Now, the people that you meet over this time can be instrumental in helping you move forward. And the full moon is in your solar 4th house. So this is all to do with your home and family. And so the full moon energy can be a little bit disruptive, and if something has to be worked out and changed or altered so it runs better, then that can happen this week. So try to go with the flow, let it happen, work through it, and see where it comes out. All right, so lucky last, Pisces, one of my favorite signs. let's see what's going on for you. The full moon is in your solar third house. So this is all about communication. And it can bring in sort of siblings and family too. So you could expect some things happening around your family or your siblings, or some interaction there. Perhaps something needs to be said and you've been holding off, and now's the time to do that, because the full moon is often like a trigger, okay? Now, pretty soon you're going to have a lot of activity in your career zone. So this is a time to really think about what you want to do, what you want to achieve for your business and your career. Right now, most of the activities in your solar ninth house, good for learning new skills, good for like studying, also very good for travel. Okay, so if you've got some travel on the horizons, then this is a great time, particularly as Mercury is out of retrograde now, and Mercury is moving into this area as well, which gives you just a sharp mind and motivation to really get on and do what you want in life, okay? All right, that's it. Love and luck to you, everybody. And if I have time, I will go through and try to get the points, the timing points for each and every sign. I can't promise I'm going to be able to do that every week, and probably not for these couple of weeks, because I need them to do the monthlies today as well for November. Thank you so much for watching and following me, and if you enjoy your readings, I'd really appreciate you to promote it for me on your social medias, because I rarely get time to go and do much work on that area. So have a great week, and